This is what we are. It's a community. It's a community that grows, that believes in each other, and stays together. And I hope to have the honor of representing you in Ottawa at this crucial time for Nepean, for Ottawa, for Ontario, for Canada.
Carney hopes to represent his riding. Did you hear that? When I decided to start covering political content from an anti-narcissistic perspective, I didn't realize just how much time I would have to spend listening to politicians giving speeches. If you would have told me how often I would have to hear Pierre talk about big beautiful houses under proud Canadian flags with soldiers on patrol for some reason, just to find a clip worth talking about, I might have decided to do something else. Anything else? When I listen to Jagmeet deliver his speeches, which I can only assume are being written by the team behind Hillary's 2016 campaign, he keeps talking about when the NDP formed government, which, if you look at the polling data, it's pretty clear that unless news comes out that Carney has a taste for Nova Scotian flesh, and honestly, even then, the odds of the NDP forming government this year are lower than me finding true love on Grindr. But Carney hopes to represent his riding. Currently, he's polling like 10 points higher than his nearest opponent, but he presumes nothing. And as I've said before, I'm not a politics channel. I'm an anti-narcissism channel. And while I'm never going to formally endorse a candidate or presume to tell you for sure that someone is safe, if this lack of entitlement is truly representative of how he approaches things, this is a very good sign. I recently did a video about Pierre's narcissism, and surprise, a number of conservative commenters who were driving up engagement with their comments, so, oh no, decided to suggest that the same complaints that can be leveled against Pierre can be leveled against every politician, every human being. We're all just selfish people who want to cut in line and insist that we always get the most status, the best stuff, the best food, and more money than God. And Carney doesn't display that sort of short-sighted, impulsive need for praise, affirmation, and worship that we see from people like Pierre or Trump. And he's not living in some hypothetical fantasy where he feels a need to future fake us like Singh is for some reason. And I get that in sales, people tell you that you can increase your sales by being aggressive, talking as if things are already a done deal and a far-gone conclusion. But Canadians don't need the hard sell right now. We know that the election is coming up, and we know when we'll get to vote, or we should. I'll probably make some notes about the dates as we get closer to it. But right now, we are in a time where candidates have an opportunity to earn our votes. And I, for one, appreciate a little bit of humility. Because despite the way that big money American interests have been trying to force their culture on us, the Canada I grew up in was not defined by loud honking and giant flags and people dancing on war memorials, or people constantly talking about how they're getting screwed because their taxes go towards taking care of the sick and injured, orphans, and the elderly. I know I swear a lot, but to me, Canada is kinder to each other than the Americans have been telling us to be. We are not simply nice. We care, we have empathy, and we do not presume people's decisions before they make them.